Light up your fire.
You already speak English well, but leading in a second language is different. You may find yourself reaching for a word that you definitely knew, but you can't retrieve because you're on the spotlight. During meetings, when you should be pushing back, you stay silent. Or when you need to assert your position in a conversation, you over explain. If that's what's happening to you, you're not actually having a language problem. You may have a precision problem, like when you don't have the exact word for the exact moments, those phrases that make a room go quiet and listen. But even then, that decision problem has a deeper root, which is not being addressed enough, in my opinion, by coaches. When the pressure is on, your nervous system gets there before the words do. And what looks like a language gap is often the system protecting itself, narrowing what feels safe to say in high stakes moments. So, language precision, although is important, it's still a surface fix, which we can address in my coaching, by the way. But the somatic work is what makes that precision available in the moments that count. Because the irony is that under enough pressure, the right words can still work against you. If you ignore your somatic triggers, the language gets too polished and becomes a signal. People don't hear your authority anymore. What they see is someone managing their exposure. Take, for example, the case of a mayor speaking to the citizens about some problems that they're working on solving. They may address the people in a warm way, saying something like, "We're working on it, we'll get it fixed soon." But then, say an emergency hits, the same person at the conference, the press conference, will say, "Our administration is coordinating with all relevant agencies to ensure a timely and comprehensive response." That's not better English. That's someone who's stopped trusting their own voice under pressure. And it's not just the mayor. Some of the most fluent CEOs in the world do exactly this the moment the pressure is on. It's normal. And the root is in the body. You see, the foundation of communication starts at the somatic level. Welcome to the Sovereign Voice. I'm Roxana Fiamma. I work with multilingual professionals on what happens to voice, body, and language together when the pressure is on. So, as I was saying, that gap between what you say, what you know, and what you end up saying is like a contraction, an edit that you didn't consciously make. And something gets left behind in the process of delivering a message. For someone working in a second language, the cognitive load is higher. The threat feels more specific. And the words that disappear under pressure become evidence of something like, I need to speak, to work more on my English. So it's easy to conclude that you need to improve your language skills. But under evaluation, something else is being protected. And that's the authority, the right to take up space, basically, to mean what you mean in a meeting and to be the source of what's being said that hasn't been fully claimed yet. Because in those moments, you sense that speaking up fully might cost you something. So the nervous system narrows to protect what feels that is already a risk. And research helps us understand exactly why this happens. Studies on multilingual speakers in high stakes environments find that under pressure, there's a second cognitive layer running alongside the speech. Things like monitoring grammar, tracking reception in the room, calibrating tone, or misreading how much authority feels available in the room. And that processing is a load that slows down response time and reduces spontaneity as well. And that can make a speaker sound less assured than they actually are. Even highly fluent speakers experience that under stress. This is why the voice changes under evaluation and everything shifts with it. Breath, timing, all of it is narrowing at once. And the meaning gets edited while it's still forming. There's something that's been going unnoticed underneath all that load that finally researchers have put a name on, and that is processing fluency. This is important. Processing fluency refers to how easy or difficult it is for participants to mentally process and understand information during communication. Research in sociolinguistics and organizational psychology documents this consistently. Accented speakers are judged as less competent, less credible, and less authoritative because the cognitive effort of processing unfamiliar sounds gets misread as a signal about the speaker rather than about the listener. So delivery affects reception, even when the content is identical. And perhaps that's worth highlighting. The burden of adaptation has always fallen on the multilingual speaker, but communication is a two-way process, and listening is a skill. An untrained ear mistakes unfamiliarity for inadequacy. So really, that needs to be addressed properly. Perhaps native speakers need to update their listening skills now. So this is documented proof that what triggers the nervous system in the multilingual speaker trying to protect their sense of authorship is not simply an unconscious fight or flight trigger. It's rooted in a real kind of threat. The crucial work here is in noticing that exact moment your system decides to protect your own voice by narrowing it. Because once you notice that moment, you're no longer fully inside it. That's the threshold we'll keep exploring in this channel. But what about you? If your brain is full in high stakes moments, what is it carrying? Drop your answer in the pinned comment section below. It helps me understand what you like to address next and what your experience is. And by the way, I'm offering a free 20-minute Lingosomatica diagnostic session. It's a conversation that will help you discover what's actually happening in your body in those high-stakes moments and where your own voice has been put aside for someone more polished and acceptable. After that, whether or not we'll continue to work together, you'll have gained new insight about yourself as a communicator. If that calls you, the link to connect with me is below. If the content of this video resonates with you, subscribe to The Sovereign Voice, the channel for multilingual professionals where language, identity, and presence meet. But for now, stay with what you noticed. I see you next time.